Hello there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here on Friday night to do an episode of ranking the albums. Probably will come out a little late. The internet has been shut down here today and I will be having to go elsewhere to upload these. So probably possibly could be done by maybe around 9 o'clock. And also tonight I will be doing a remake of my exploring the Prog universe with Green Slade. Having a little bit of a brain cramp there. Anyway, so back to ranking of the albums. So we do this show every Friday night. Ben gives me 4 albums from his vast collection. I listen to all 4 of them over the course of the week, and then I rank them according to how I like them, with the number 1 album going on to the semifinals, which we will do at the end of the series. So the 4 albums he gave me, I'll give them to you in the positions that he gave me them, and then I'll give you my rankings of them. So the 4 albums he gave me were Marillion's Holidays in Eden, Hawkwind's Doremi, faso, latido. Yep, that one I like. Gandalf Tales from a Long Forgotten Kingdom. The last word, I wasn't sure what it was. And the last one is called Loudness, and the album is called Desolation. So all 4 of these albums I've listened to in their entirety. A couple surprises, I think. Nothing spectacularly surprising here, except for one album. So the first one, the second one, and the third one were all fairly close to each other. With the first 2, could have went either way with the first 2. The third one was third, but not really that much behind. I quite liked all 3 of these albums. And the fourth one I just didn't like, and I'll explain why when we start. So normally what I do here is I will rank them from 4th to 1st, or least to best, or worst to first. In this case, worst was worst by far. I did not like this album. I listened to it in its entirety because I love this band, but I did not like the album at all. And this has happened to me with this band before. I did not like their most recent album either. I spent a lot on it. I have not had it off the shelf since I played it a half a dozen times and didn't like it and put it on the shelf. So to me, it's been a bit of a waste of money. And this one, I didn't like. In fact, I actually think I liked this one even less. But anyways, we're talking about Marillion's Holidays in Eden. I found it too poppy. I didn't find it to be proggy at all. The instrumentation was really good. I thought the instrumentation was fantastic. I even think the vocalist is actually quite really good. He's fantastic. I think his voice was really good on the other album that I had by them with him singing as well. But I just didn't care for the direction of the music. I found it too poppy. I didn't find any kind of prog in it at all that I thought was prog. Maybe a little bit, but not much. The songs were unmemorable, and I just didn't find anything about it that did anything for me. Now, it may be that I will play it again sometime and it'll get a better review, but for today it's going to finish 4th by quite a bit, like almost by a landslide. It was 4th. Now, the third, second, and first album, all really close, could have went either way for the top 2. The third one I think was just a little less, not terrible. The third one is going to be Loudness and Desolation, the album Desolation. This is kind of a metal sounding album. Actually, not a kind of a metal sounding album, a very metal sounding album, almost a speed metal. At times I hear almost a Judas, not a Judas Priest sound, but a Judas Priest range. Like they're well within that Judas Priest sound. I don't think they sound really like Judas Priest. In fact, they remind me of a Canadian band, Princess, that I have an album of as well. It's quite a good album. I think the instrumentation is really strong on this album, especially the drumming. I think is really good. I think there's some catchy stuff on this album, quite a bit. The metal vocalist sounds really good, fits in with the music perfectly. This is an album I think, given half a dozen listens, could actually make some real noise if we were to give it another chance. So, Loudness is Desolation. Solid album, solid album. Definitely would get a high 3, maybe even a low 2 from me if I was ranking them that way. So the top 2 albums could have went either way. I initially was going to go with one just because of my familiarity. I love the band quite a bit. But I think I'm going to give the nod to the other one just because I did like it really quite a bit. Very, very close to this. They're very close to the same as each other. And I think this one just has a little bit more of an upside for me at this point. So number 2 will be Hawkwind Doremi, faso, latido, which I do like quite a bit. This is quite a heavy album, even by Hawkwind standards. Lots of spacey stuff, of course. Typical Hawkwind album, spacey, melodic, heavy, with a little bit of psychedelia in it, and the title is quite funny as well. I did like that. So this album is going to come in 2, losing out by just a hair to Gandalf, which is a new band for me. I did like this album quite a bit. It's very kind of classical, maybe even a little medieval sounding. Definitely got that kind of pastoral sound at times to it. Lots of interesting instrument parts to it. I really enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me of a science fiction, or not science fiction, but a fantasy novel. Really quite a good album. I think this is an album I think will grow stronger as I listen to it more. I think it's one that I'd like to have too. So it's winning this round by a hair. I almost gave it to Hawkwind because of my familiarity. I've listened to this album a few times before and like it quite a bit. But for today, I just like this Gandalf one a little bit more, and I'm more curious to see how far it can go. I think it's a good album. So Gandalf wins with their Tales from a Long Forgotten Kingdom. Pretty strong album. If you like the Chronicles of Father Robin, you'll probably like this. If you like some of that that Green Slade stuff and that what are they called? I can't think of them. Anyways, if you like that kind of stuff, even a little bit of that older Genesis stuff, some Gentle Giant. This is within the realm of those bands as well. Well, quite good. So Gandalf wins today with Hawkwind coming second. Loudness coming third with their Desolation album, and Marillion finished last with their Holidays in Eden. And there you have it. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Ranking the Albums. We will be back next week, and will be the first. Well, it won't be the first one, but it's the first one for Friday nights in the new place. I'm hoping that the lighting, everything is going to be so much better, and that will make a much better appealing situation for everybody involved. Anyways, take care and have yourself a good evening. Good night.